Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for dropping by today's podcast. Another fun and interesting day on lockdown for me, but I hear most of the country is starting to open up. Hopefully you guys are being safe and doing what you need to do to protect yourself when you guys are trying to get out and about and get back to some normalcy. But anyway, like I said, welcome to the podcast. It's always a pleasure to do these with you. And for today's podcast, we are going to be doing our monthly open forum. So basically, you guys are going to decide the topics that we discuss, and we'll get into it. And we like to kind of do this at least once a month, just to kind of address some of the things that are on your mind a little bit more than we might when we decide what the topics are going to be. So hopefully you guys do enjoy this format. I know I enjoy it as well. But anyway, let me go ahead and bring Islander into the mix here, and we will get things going for you guys. But real quick before I do, don't forget to drop a like on this. And if you guys are not yet subscribed to Islander, which I'm sure most of you are, but if not, there's a link to his channel in the video description and in the first pinned comment. So anyway, let's go ahead and get things going, and let's get Eddie into the mix here. Hey, what's up, Eddie?
What's up, Chief? How the hell are you?
I'm doing all right. How are things down south where you are?
They were cold and rainy, and now they're just humid and hot, brother.
Nice.
The weather's just crazy up and down right now, and it's just crazy right now. But all good, man.
Are they starting to open things up down there where you are?
Yeah. I believe tomorrow our gym's open back up, and I will finally be getting back in the gym because I've been getting chubby.
Nice.
I've been getting chubby. Yeah, I was like, you know what? Tomorrow the gym's open up. I got a member of Gold. I'm a member of Gold. They got the lap pool there, so I'm going to hit the pool and see if I can do something about this whole chubbiness I've been putting on me.
Well, you know, if you can't get it at the gym, sure you can take advantage of that warm weather you've got and just head out and maybe do some running or biking or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, if you just walk outside for a few seconds, you're sweating up a storm. It's so humid.
I think we hit 70 degrees here yesterday, and it was hot. It was hot.
Oh, no, bro. We're at about 102, 105, somewhere there.
Yeah, that's...
70 is perfect weather.
Well,
at least for
we've
us.
been cold for a while, so that's why 70 feels hot. So.
Gotcha.
All right, so we're gonna be doing the open forum here, so we'll let the viewers kind of lead us along the path of discussion, and hopefully they will all participate. See quite a few of the regulars there in chat already, so we do have anybody.
Got Monster, got Obey, got Turbo Knight there, Bradley. What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing?
Yeah, and if we do have anybody new that is catching the podcast for the first time, make sure that you drop a hello or something in the chat so we can see who you are. But anyway, I guess to get things started, just while they're trying to figure out what they want to talk about, I guess we can talk about a few new things here on test server this weekend. The biggest surprise to me was a new map on test server.
Yeah, we got that new map. I tell you what, I searched for it, but I never found it, Chief. I never got a chance to play on it.
Yeah,
I played it pretty much most of the weekend, but I just never landed on that map. I don't know. Not sure. Did you try it out?
I got on there for a little while. I didn't get onto that map. Luckily, I was able to at least see a few videos of it. It's, you know, just pretty standard for early access to a map, but I am surprised that they didn't focus on the map. They just kind of threw it into the mix randomly there. But
yeah, I figured they would have wanted to hype that up a little bit more, because I mean we've been starving for new maps for some time, and we're getting one coming soon. And now this one coming in, that would be probably the best news that we got out of this test server.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, from what I saw on that map, though, I mean, it looks kind of interesting, but I mean, I don't know. It just seemed a little small for me. Um, I mean, I don't mind smaller maps, but maybe it's just because it wasn't finished. But it looked a little extra small, in my opinion. But I don't know. Maybe that'll kind of force some folks into some more brawling scenarios.
That's possible. I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, if you got a small map, it's kind of hard to cap because, I mean, bots can get to the other side of the map so quickly now. It's just ridiculous. So, yeah, it's going to force you to brawl it up a little bit. If you try to cap it out, you're going to have a few issues.
Yeah, especially with the new robot that they're testing as well on the test server. Getting across the map is real easy. So
yeah, Mr. Scorpion. Actually, I played it this weekend, and you know, for just about every mod I could see out there would benefit from it. With the exception of Beacon Rush is the only one that I can see would be a downfall, where it's gonna force teams to hold two guys back, and that's just. I mean, we do that already somewhat, you know, but you cannot abandon or you cannot cheat up on that beacon at all, because you can have your lunch eating real quick, and they capture your home beacon and start dropping Ravanas on it. Good luck, you ain't never gonna get it back. It's gonna be a hard and long fight before you can get your own home beacon back. So that's just something to contend with, and that for the two guys that are having to play goalie, the games have become very boring for them.
Right. Well, I don't know. I guess I have some concerns with them coming out with kind of a brawler-friendly map, just because it seems like the meta they're trying to force on everybody is the camper meta, which I'm not a fan of to begin with. But I don't know. Maybe there's some other things going on that we're just not aware of yet. It's like Bradley was saying that maybe they'll stop triple spawning Yamantau. I agree 100% on that. I am so sick of getting Yamantau all the time. Such a boring map. MixFant was saying that the mine map actually has two beacons about 100 meters apart. Not very well organized in terms of beacon placement. And I did see MixFant's video. He did do a pretty good video showing the new map for anybody that's interested in checking it out.
I missed it. I need to go over to Mix's channel and check that out.
Yeah, he did a pretty good little video there of the map. Yeah, 100 meters apart. I mean, you can literally sit on one beacon and shoot the other guy with, you know, anything. 100 meters is like nothing in more robots, so yeah, I mean, you could almost brawl between two beacons, I guess. So yeah, I would like to see them make some adjustments, at least. I don't know if it's going to be possible for them to make the map larger, but I mean, we'll have to kind of see what kind of feedback they accept on it. It did have another feature, though, that's similar to the was it the warehouse map or whatever it's called that we're waiting for them to release, where it has like the little pools of acid. It did have something similar to that.
You're talking about factory map.
Yeah, factory. Sorry, I'm confusing my games here. I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty lately, so.
Yeah, I tell you what, I don't play the regular one, but I've been enjoying the mobile one. It's just so easy to grind out stuff, and you know, I mean, it's just totally different game. We can discuss that at a later time, though. Let's stick with War Robots. Yeah, I've been having fun on that one.
Yeah, it's I don't know, kind of interesting, I guess, to have some kind of a an area of a map, I guess, that does damage. But I hope this isn't something that's like trending and that's like going to be in every map, because I mean, with the next two maps both going to have that, I guess it's better than having, you know, a gorge of water that if you fall in you just lose your robot. But I don't know, I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more unique. I do believe that the new mine map, though, is the community decided map that they had on Facebook. where they were taking
Yeah, yeah.
votes and
I
whatnot.
remember that. I remember them putting up that post and trying to gauge everybody's feedback.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to do some more testing on that. But for any of the viewers that weren't aware, yes, there is another map on the test server, along with the Scorpion robot and a couple of other things. There's a new module. It's called the Disguise. Is it Disguise module? Or man, sorry, my brain's not functioning very well the past few days. Anyway, I don't remember the name, but it's a new module for regular robots, and basically, if you take 10% of your health and damage over a 3-second period of time, it will trigger you to go stealth. But it's not your regular stealth mode; it's complete stealth, even from QR. So QR can't even target you when this thing triggers, and when they stack. You can stack up to 3 of them, but it doesn't increase the duration or anything. It gives you another trigger, so if you have 2 of these modules, then it can trigger twice in one match, and if you have 3, then it can trigger up to 3 times in one match. That was kind of a surprise. I wasn't expecting another module like that, but it's just another module where it's giving invulnerability. Personally, I think we have enough of those. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I'm in 100% agreement. I can see this being placed on a Ravana style bot, and as I think we talked about a little bit earlier, how difficult it is. Once you got people battling out for a certain beacon, and you got 2 to 3 Ravanas, per player coming in and trying to take that particular beacon, and the game is just so stagnant. Battling for one beacon, you can sit there for 5-6 minutes trying to obtain the center beacon or left beacon or whichever beacon it is you're battling out for, and it's kind of taking all the fighting out of a fighting game.
Right.
Everybody's constantly invisible, constantly can't be hit, can't be targeted. And now you're gonna add something like this, and it's gonna make it even just that much more stagnant. That I gotta wait 5 seconds, so you can shoot me, and then you shoot me, and then mine triggers, and there's another 5 seconds we're gonna wait. And if everybody's if everybody on the squads have them, and they will, all right, we know that the top squads are gonna have them. These games are just gonna be so ridiculous boring. Waiting for all this stuff to end so we can finally engage in a little bit of fighting. It seems like we're losing the fighting out of a fighting game.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with that. It's just, I don't know, for me, I guess, I mean, we already kind of went through this with the Last Stand. When it first came out, everybody's like, oh my gosh, this thing is so powerful, it's OP, it gives you, 4 seconds of invulnerability once it triggers. I mean, this thing is basically a Last Stand, but it doesn't have a low health trigger. It's just, I mean, if you go from 100 to 90% health in 3 seconds, it's going to trigger and give you that invulnerability. And then you can add on top of that, phase shift or double phase shift, which is still, a fairly popular thing.
And I can tell you this to you, I mean, and I'm going to keep going back to the Ravanas because that's kind of where it's at. If you're battling out with a Ravana and he has used both of his abilities, that is phase shift, and now he has that, 6 to 8 second gap where you could actually finally target him, and you hit him with 4 or 5 pops, and now he goes to the stealth, and now he's going to re-up all his abilities one more time and re-up his phase shift, and the whole circle's going to start all over again. I mean, you're going to make one Ravana last almost an entire game if you want to, just messing around like that.
Right. Well, I think one thing that, I mean, the Ravana aside, because I think the Ravana is a very unique robot when you consider something like this on it, because, especially with the Ravana pilot, you can have 3 built-in phase shifts, an additional phase shift or double phase shift, depending on your pilot skills. And then you add this in, obviously it's going to add even more time. And then you add the Last Stand invulnerability on top of that. yeah, it's going to be a little bit
and
insane on the
and and
Ravana,
and, and
but
the Death Survivor, which will trigger
oh,
another one for you
yeah.
at a certain percentage. So it just, like I said, there's just too much phase shifting in the game now, way too much. Now this on a robot that can't phase shift, then I mean I can see where that'd be perfect. You know, they get a little breather. You know, depending on who they're matched up with or what they're matched up against. But you know, I don't think this module should be allowed on all bots. That's just my opinion. I don't think the Ravana should be able to use this module.
Well,
You know, and in squad play, I run 3 of them.
I think one difference with this new module is, you know, it makes you, I mean, essentially gives you invulnerability without actually giving you invulnerability, because it just makes you stealth, but it's like a real stealth again, where not even QR can see you. But the thing that makes this different than like a phase shift is you still have the ability to heal and shoot while you're in that stealth ability, and nobody can shoot you unless they're using something like shotguns that have some kind of an, you know, area effect. But even then, it's not going to do a whole lot of damage to you. But you know, phase shift, you can't shoot and you can't heal, you know, when you use phase shift. So I don't know, I think that's another thing that maybe, you know, they need to look at, you know, the ability to shoot and heal while you're in this unique stealth, because I think that that should be considered. Let's see what some of these folks are talking about. Kiara saying the new module would be great on the leech. I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, now he'll have 90% resistance, and I think Last Stand is a must, so you can put 2 of them on there, and now you have 2 cloaking devices that'll trigger throughout the game. You're gonna be pretty solid, no doubt. And if you add I don't know, a healer, no, a healer would be the active also. No, I'm sorry, healing would be your active one, so you could be pretty damn strong in a leech with this type of bot. But you know what? One thing that I can say about the leech is at least you can still shoot it. You know, you still have a viable target in front of you that you can hit. So, I don't know.
Interesting to see what this would do on something like a Loki. If a Loki's already in stealth, and you know, as we know, you can still hit a Loki with certain robots and certain weapons while it's in stealth. And then this triggers the super stealth or whatever it is it's called. I mean,
yeah, it'll bring some life back to the Loki. Considering that now that we're also looking at a Titan quantum, what is it? I forgot what exactly it was called, but a quantum. It was a quantum radar. They call it something else, quantum something. And you know, if they get that and the Loki gets within 350 meters, of course they're going to start lighting them up. This triggers, okay, and now they cannot target him for those 5 seconds. I can see where there's going to be like a counterbalance for these modules versus the Titan's incoming quantum radar.
Right. So we're gonna probably get some kind of a, well, and I wonder with the Titan module for the passive quantum radar, I wonder if that's kind of a trial for possibly bringing something like that to regular robots. I hope not, but I guess it's entirely possible because, you know, we do have the Aojun pilot that basically does that already.
Right.
And now they're going to be bringing it to the Titans. So I wonder if we'll see a regular module that does the same thing, because that would really be the only counter to this, is to have some kind of a passive super quantum radar, you know. I don't know.
Yeah. We're just gonna have to wait. I mean, this is only phase 1 of the testing, so we're gonna see how they're gonna adjust it or what they're gonna do to it over the next few weeks. But I do foresee this coming. I don't think it's something that they're going to axe. I mean, we haven't really axed anything in the test server in quite some time now. Even though we've been very much opposed to a lot of the stuff that's been coming in, it's still, they're still going to do what they want to do as far as bringing it out. As we saw with the leech and all the feedback that we gave, and the numbers that at the end where we thought they were going to be, everybody was content with them, and we just caught that curveball. So, for us, it's just going to be a waiting game, and we'll see what they finalize up on.
Louis was saying with the disguise module, am I right that the lockdown weapons will be useless? And Max mentioned something as well. Best way to prepare for disguise is don't have or use lock-on weapons. Yeah, pretty much. Because if you're doing damage with them, then they're just going to go into stealth. You're going to lose your lock-on. I've been somebody who has not been a fan of lock-on weapons for the entire time I've played the game. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a bit of a nerf to any of the lock-on weapons. So, discourage users out there, beware.
Now, I didn't actually check that in the testing, but if you were locked on with a Scourge, even though it went into a cloak, did it break the lock on?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, it's not like the Ravana where you still keep your lock on. I mean, he goes into his ability, but you stay locked onto your target.
Well, kind of, but like if you're on a leech and you use your ability against somebody that then goes into stealth, right? Your ability continues to stay locked onto them, but if you're using, like, say, Scourges on that leech, then you can no longer target them with your Scourges. So it works just like that, where, I mean, you basically lose your complete lock on. So yeah, I don't know, maybe this is what their plan is. I've been saying for a long time that Scourges needed a nerf back to where they should have been, at least at range. They put up way too much damage at max range, but if you look at recent history as far as nerfs go, like the leech was super powerful for a while. It was the metabot, and Pixonic successfully nerfed the crap out of the leech without ever actually nerfing the leech. So this could just be a new trend that we're seeing with them. You never know.
Yeah, and I mean they're going to do the same thing to most of the stealth bots with this new quantum module or quantum device or whatever they're going to call it for the Titans. I mean, that's going to generally affect the Aljun, the Lokis, the Pursuers. I mean, anything that uses a stealth mode basically is going to be now vulnerable to the Titans. The good thing is right now is the range is only 350 meters, but any more than that, it would be horrible. I think it should be way less than that. I think it should be around the 200 to 250 meter range, somewhere there. Just to give some bots still somewhat of a fighting chance, but it just doesn't look like it's going to go that way.
Right. Let's see, Urbanite was saying, with the Titan QR coming as the new module is going to be useless. I don't think so, because this new module seems to not be affected by any kind of QR, so it's still going to give them at least 5 seconds of stealth, even if somebody's in a Titan using the new QR Titan module. Although it's still only going to be one trigger, so how much, is that really gonna help a regular robot? Probably not. But I do agree with you that the Titan QR module range should be much lower than it is right now. I would say no more than 200, but I would like to see something like 100 meters. I think 100 meters in all directions. I mean, that's still 200 meters across. So still pretty wide range there.
Yeah, well, within 100 meters, I believe the kid and the Arthur can use their ability, you know, and you have quantum. I mean, I'm sorry, you have Al June with quantum radar there, or not quantum radar with death mark and stuff like that. They fly in on you, and they got to come in within 300 meters before they can effectively fire on you. You know, that 50 meters. I mean, it still makes it somewhat tactical. You know, you still got to come in, but you cannot exceed that 50-meter mark, and that is your cushion right there. You know, if you were to push it back to 100, then you know, the Arjuns would still be pretty much able to have their way. I don't think that the Titans need this particular module. I don't think they need quantum. I think they're powerful enough. I think they're way overpowered enough to sit there and chase an Arjun around a little bit and eventually run them down and cap them, because it happens just about every day. But I don't know. I don't think 100 meters would be. I don't know. In my opinion, 100 meters would be a little bit too shy. You know, anywhere between maybe 250, minimum of 200, I think would be a good radius. Just my opinion.
Well, I'm personally just against giving any kind of additional buff to the Titans, because they are so far OP right now that it's ridiculous. Hey, what's up, Lee? See Lee Fighter dropping in the chat there.
What's going on, Lee?
But yeah, I would like to see it, though, at least to where the brawling weapons, you know, the 300-meter weapons could at least have a chance to do some damage against a Titan that might be using it. But,
yeah, I mean, the Arjuna already took a hit on the flight time and, you know, the speed. So this is just something else that's going to work against it. I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all. You know, I mean, if you're going to run Arjuns, I guess you're going to go back to Avengers, or, you know, you already have your Vipers, so you're pretty decent there. You know, you're going to have to stay out of that 350-meter radius. So it's going to require maybe a longer range. I guess maybe they want people to start using the Avalanche. I don't know, Chief.
If they really want people to start using the Avalanche, they need to do a little better on the buff than they did. So it's just still not quite where it needs to be for people to actually use it.
Yeah, that was more like a tweak. That was more like a tweak. Quantum sensor, there you go.
Yeah, it's yeah, that is an auto nerf there. Are we Kirov saying quantum sensor, unlimited time, 350 meters. It's an automatic nerf for an Ao Jun running Amber Glacier and Redeemer. Yeah, pretty much. I would like to see that, definitely. That's why I would like to see it cut down, just because, man, the Titans already have such a big leg up over regular robots already that, I mean, if you can manage to get in, you know, to that 300-meter range to even use those weapons, I mean, you should be able to use them, not just get really decimated.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, you do got to work your way up to that robot, and you can take a pounding coming in. You really, really can. You know, and now that you get in, you know, they have this new quantum sensor. I'm just not a fan of it at all, Chief. Not a fan at all. I think that, you know, if they were going to scrap anything, this would be the thing that they would need to scrap.
Zarathustra does bring up a fair point, though, that you know, you do have to make a choice to run this thing on your Titan, which means you're going to have to give up, you know, 27% damage or 27% health, depending on what you're running in your flexible spot there on your Titan. But I think most Titans can probably afford to give up 27% damage because it's really only going to affect them going against other Titans. As far as the Titan going against robots, I mean, you could lose 50% of a Titan's damage, and they would still destroy robots insanely fast. So, I guess though they would still have to choose. I think it would mainly affect people in full squads more. They would have to decide, who's going to run a Titan with one of these modules, and then who's going to keep their Titan with, the maximum damage output to counter the other team's Titans.
Yeah, I really don't see that 27% really being much of a factor. Now, I would not put the speed module in because I really don't think they need speed. I mean, they're headed towards the center, or they're going to make a push on a beacon. Speed is not something that they really need. I mean, they kind of bulldoze their way in there anyways. So I wouldn't give up 27% hit or hit points or damage for that particular module. But for the quantum radar, I think it's going to be a must. I really do.
Yeah, and I can see it being effective on both, in squad gameplay and in, solo gameplay, because people want to keep their Titans alive. And right now, the Aljuns or the Lokis are the biggest threat to them. But yeah, I don't know. I think in squads, I agree. It's definitely going to be a must. But I still think people are going to have to at least coordinate with their squad mates who's running it and who's running the extra damage. So.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of the Titans just kind of. I mean, a lot of the Aljuns just pretty much falling out of the hangars now after this one, because although it did take the nerf, all right, it was still viable and still competitive enough to go up against a Titan. And if you're tactical enough, you can put some serious damage in there, but you just had to be cautious of the way you played it. Now caution just goes out the window. There is no caution. You go up, you got to be within 350 meters to get your weapons off, and as soon as you come in, you're just vulnerable. Now you have to have a phase shift come in. I don't know. It just doesn't sound good at all. I don't like it. I hope they give it the axe. I'd rather reintroduce the reload button versus something like this.
Maybe I've just been wrong this whole time when I make fun of all the people running Dragoons on their Aljuns. Maybe they had foresight, and maybe I was wrong this whole time. True that.
I'll tell you what, I would take the dust off of my Dragoons and put it on there, Now, that's not going to do very much against the Arthur, but, it'll still be effective against the Mings.
Right. So, I think that's pretty much all there is on the test server. Not really a whole lot. This weekend, I guess we could talk about this too. I haven't really seen too many other discussion topics. Hey, what's up, AD Gaming? Thanks for dropping by tonight.
What's up, AD? How you doing, bud?
This weekend we had another kind of, I don't remember what the actual name was that Pixonic called it, but discounted Platinum or Titan upgrade weekend. Oh
yeah, we had a little mini Titan discount. Now the 10%, and that was kind of cool. Just too damn bad I already spent all my Platinum, but
yeah, I was in the same boat.
Whatever I was getting in for the daily, I was definitely using on upgrades.
Yeah, I was definitely in the same boat where I couldn't take advantage of it because I spent, all of my Platinum last week in upgraded modules or whatever. But I guess it's nice to see that they're at least trying to introduce some things, with Platinum and, something like a discount. I mean, personally, I would like to see it be a little more than 10%. I mean, especially with Platinum, because, it doesn't really take it. I mean, it takes a lot of Platinum in the overall scope of things, but each individual upgrade is not really a lot of Platinum. I think at max levels, you're looking at, between 60 and 70 Platinum per level, which is not a huge amount. So I would like to see it at least be like 25, maybe 50%, discount on Platinum. I think that would be great.
Yeah, I agree.
It's still nice to see that they're entertaining it. they have been kind of a little more generous with their platinum. Another recent change in the game as far as platinum goes is they're apparently now
Videos?
testing out the video ad instead of just you know, the 5 platinum that you had the opportunity to show up in your daily tasks to watch 2 videos and get 5 platinum. Now it's in the like the sales area.
Yeah, 20 for 5.
Yeah, you watch five ads and you get 20 platinum. So I mean that's not bad. I mean, of course, you know, if you're sitting there, like me, I don't know how people do their daily routine, but usually, you know, when I get up in the morning, I, you know, go through, I open my free silver, you know, and then watch that ad 3 times to get that, you know, the free silver, and then you know, go through, watch all my ads basically. I'm there for 20 minutes now just watching ads.
Yeah, you spent a while there. There's so many, and I mean, they don't charge you for, I guess, like your game use ads. These are like just freebies or daily free ads.
Yeah.
Of course, they're collecting on them, you know. But you know, it is interesting. I mean, it is refreshing to see a little platinum come in there. I would like to see them touch up on the black market coming up next. I mean, I think they should throw in a chunk of platinum in there somewhere. You know, whether it's the gold chest or the super chest. I would like to see some platinum come in as well, and I hope that's something that they're working on.
I imagine eventually we probably will see platinum work its way into the black market. I do recall there was something that was discussed on some dev stream sometime within the last 6 months maybe, where they said that they were going to be looking at, you know, the black market. It was just kind of overall picture of you know, refreshing, basically updating multiple parts of the game. I don't remember specifically what they said, but I do believe that I recall them saying something about maybe making some adjustments to the black market.
Yeah,
So-
that was supposed to get a rework.
So yeah, I could see them. I mean, we've got, at least if they keep the format the same, we've got the bronze, the silver, and the gold chest, and the super chest. And currently there is every different type of currency in those chests as it is.
Which
So-
of
So yeah, so I could see them maybe, you know, dropping, you know, like maybe 2 platinum or something crazy, maybe even 5 in like the bronze. I think 5 platinum, pretty generous for a bronze chest. And then maybe like 20 in the silver, and, you know, I don't know. I think anything less than 100 in the gold chest would probably not be worth it, but we'll see what they come up with.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting 20 per video ad, if you're getting 20 platinum for video ads, I mean, you got to get at least 100 for 1,000 tokens or 1,000 keys if you spin. You know, that should be I agree with you, the minimum.
Let's see, Springtrap was asking, this was probably a couple of minutes ago, but he was asking, is Falcon still part of the meta bot group? No.
I say yes.
I see.
I'll tell you what, you say no, and I'll give you your chance to justify it, and then I'll jump in there.
Well, I don't think the Falcon was ever really part of the meta. I think he was a strong option for a little while when he when pilots first came out and you can get traditionalist, but I don't think it ever really became meta. It's much less now that Titans are out, especially because the Titans can bypass all of those defense points that the Falcon has. So Falcons really just get pushed around by Titans, and so I don't know. I never viewed it as being in the actual meta to begin with. So That's why I say
On
no.
that note, every single standard bot gets pushed around by a Titan.
Hold on, you're real quiet, Eddie. I don't know if I did something or.
Hold on 1 second. Maybe I moved a little bit too far away from the Wi-Fi. Let me know.
Oh, you're a little better now. There you go.
Okay. Well, as I was saying, just about every bot gets pushed around by the Titans at the current mode that we're in right now. And as far as team play is concerned, using a Falcon on your first wave, whether you're going to play domination or you're going to play, beacon rush. Beacon rush, they're very effective. They come into that center beacon and they're just hell to kill. Still, I mean, they're just they use the advanced healing on it and a phase shift, and they're very viable on the early onset of the game. Now, of course, once the Titans drop, they lose their value. Okay, but just about every other bot out there has very little value against a Titan. You get a maxed out being out there, it doesn't matter what you're in and how much resistance you have, it's not going to be viable. But as of right now, they're still solid in free for all, and they're very good in beacon rush. And there are a lot of the squads that are out there that are still running them, and they'll give you a hard time. Now, as far as damage output, no, they're not really there. But they can take a pounding, and they can definitely help you hold a beacon.
Well, I didn't say they weren't viable. I agree, they are still viable. But just because the bot's viable doesn't mean it's meta. So I can see though your point, that on an early wave it might have a little more benefit. But I don't know, maybe it's just me personally. I don't worry about Falcons, there's just so many other, robots out there that I think are better options for just about any position you would try to use them in. So, they're annoying, don't get me wrong. And for some reason, lately, there have been a lot of them. But they haven't been traditionalists. There's a lot of people rocking regular Falcons these days.
Right, yeah, there's a lot of regular Falcons, and they're using the advanced healer on it and a phase shift, and they're making the most of the three weapons, no doubt.
It's still a magnet for me, though. When I see a fangs out Falcon, it's just like instantaneous turn, shoot, kill.
Yep.
It's just, I don't know.
Get on him. Even with that advanced healing, he's just going to give you more damage.
Yeah. I think the main thing, I just personally avoid Falcons just because they just take too much time and you get so little benefit from killing them. I'll just go and hunt down all of their teammates, and they could have that beacon for right now, I guess. That's how I see them. But anyway, that was kind of a sidetrack there. I just saw his question and didn't want it to go to waste.
I got a question coming in from Bradley. Andrew, how did you get 2.5 billion silver on your personal account? How much do you game per hour? I do a fair amount of gaming. I do a fair amount of squatting. Here, of course, over this whole pandemic that we've been in, I've been home a lot more than usual. But basically, I run a lot of free-for-all, and there's good silver free-for-all. I do run silver boosters when I do have them. And I like to roll solo because of the video ad at the very end. And if you do all that, you could generate anywhere between 2 to 3.2, 3.3 million per match of free-for-all, depending on how you do. Kill streaks are very important in free-for-all, and of course at the very end, all the tokens that you have, your revival tokens. That's why I'll generally try to use all 5 bots now before I use any tokens, because each one of those tokens generates some kind of silver towards the end. So that's pretty much what I do, and it's been very beneficial for me. Before, it was an all team deathmatch solo, and a lot of free-for-all, but the payout wasn't in team deathmatch. Now the payout is strictly, or the best payout in my opinion, my personal opinion, is free-for-all.
And that's if you could bank those tokens.
Yeah, you got to bank those tokens as much as possible. Don't start using your same bot over and over again because that's your favorite bot and you're most effective with it. You got 5 bots in your hangar. Make sure that those are 5 bots that you can operate pretty well, and you're gonna do good. You're gonna generate some silver. Now, when you do your rushes, as far as your upgrades, you use your video ads. Don't touch your gold. Leave your gold alone. We have the video ads. They're 4 hours per ad that you watch. That is a huge plus if you're trying to rush stuff. Like right now, I'm working on more modules. I want to get certain modules up, and that's what I'm working. And it's 40 million silver per module, and I can use those videos to rush it, and I can generate those 40 plus million on a daily basis. That way, I sustain my bank of silver, and I'm just trying not to blast it all on an update like I have in the past, and they go all the way back down to 0. Then you're having to try to grind your silver all over again. So now I'm actually trying to keep a bank of a minimum of 2 billion from here on out.
Yeah, it's I found the easiest way to watch your silver grow is don't spend it. I mean, I'm not being a smartass in saying that, but like I always tried to keep something going in my workshop. It was like, I felt like I was kind of wasting an opportunity if I wasn't trying to build another weapon, but then I was finding myself in a position where I had all these weapons and robots waiting to level up, and I didn't have enough silver to actually level up what I wanted. And then they would have these little silver discount weekends, and I would be stuck with no silver. So I found that the best way to do it is just, get your hangar kind of where you can, earn a steady income, and then plan what you want to upgrade, and stop spending until you have a decent chunk of silver saved. And then, if possible, if there's going to be an upgrade coming up or an upgrade weekend coming up, stop spending all silver immediately and just bank that silver until the upgrade weekend.
Yeah. But, to answer the question, it wasn't easy. I mean, it's been a long road to grind up all that silver. People ask me, do you buy silver? Hell no. I'm not spending a single dime on silver. Silver is the most rental commodity in the game. It's the easiest to earn. There's no reason to purchase silver, at least in my opinion. I don't know if there's people out there that like to purchase silver. But, if you can make anywhere between 1 million to 3 million silver per match, there's no reason to go out there and purchase silver. And, you just got to get your weapons up. It's always weapons before bots. The more damage you get, even though there's so many other phases of honor points as far as earning silver, damage and kills still give you the biggest chunk of silver in a match. So yeah, you want to get your weapons up to, like Chief said, where you're generating a steady amount of income of silver per match.
Let's see. Louis saying that with all the new robots, modules, and weapons, he thinks they should give 3 module slots for all of the old robots. And I couldn't agree more. I think every robot in the game should have 3 module slots. Every robot in the game should have an active module slot. And recently they brought back like the Golem for like a week. You were able to buy him in the store once again. But he still didn't have any module slots. He still didn't have an active module. So it's kind of limited on what you can actually do with it. But yeah, I agree, especially with Titans now. I mean, why can't every robot in the game have modules unlocked? It just doesn't make it easy.
I agree. I'm with you on that one all the way, 100%, partner. You should be able to have 3 module slots. I mean, if you want to go back and run your old GI patent or an old Griffin or whatever, you should not be penalized passive modules because it's an older bot. It's still an animated robot just like every other robot in the game. These are not real robots. Where you cannot fit them in. They can definitely make the changes, and I think they should. I think all the robots should have three passive slots and an active, of course.
Let's see, Arthur was saying the workshop, it costs 10,000 components to build any bot, meta or fun bot. So everyone only builds meta bots with no diversity. I don't know that I would agree with that. I think a lot of people probably do wait, especially the grinders and the free-to-play players do wait for, you know, the new meta bot to finally become available in the workshop so that they can start building it. But I mean, I know a lot of people that do build just random fun bots or fun weapons in the workshop just to just to have it, just to have a little bit of fun. And as far as the meta goes right now, I think we're seeing more diversity in hangers than we have in the last year. I mean, sure, there's a lot of Ravana's now, but I mean, if you look back over the last year, I mean, what did we have? People running 5 leeches. Before that, it was 5 Aries. So it's, I think as far as meta goes, I think this is probably the most diverse we've been in a while.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there too. I mean, before we got into this whole Ravana thing, and you got to have 2, 3 Ravanas just to battle for a particular beacon, and that's only for high-end squad play. When we're going to go out there and do our fun hangers and have fun, I mean, I might carry 1 Ravana with me, just for the hell of it. But I mean, I'll put in my Spectre Vortex. I'll run my Pursuer. I mean, I run a lot of other bots that I just have fun with, and I like to operate. So, but as far as the overall hangers, yeah, this has been, I mean, it is really kind of spread out here. You still see a lot of Phantoms. You see Lokis, you see Ravanas, you see Al Juns, you still see Al Guangs. I don't know how they're doing the Al Guangs, but they're doing them. Falcons. So there's a wide range of bots that are being used. So, I'm pretty sure, I mean, they had that somewhat planned, to try and spread things out a little bit. But if and when they decide to nerf the Ravana, I completely welcome that one.
Let's see, Shake was asking, how can free to win, I guess it means free to play players, win against pay to win players? I don't really get into the debate of, the payers versus the grinders, because I mean, while this is a free to play game, and technically you can play this game and you could be successful at it and you don't have to pay a dime, it takes work. The paying players, for the most part, most of them just get things faster and can max things out a little bit quicker than a free player. But aside from the Titans, you can use a free hanger and whoop a paying player all day long. Titans aside, because a maxed out Al Ming that somebody obviously paid a lot of money for will absolutely decimate you whether you pay or you don't pay. So that's just a different.
Yeah, I mean, here up until recently, of course, now my hanger was MK2, but my Titan was a level 3 kid. Okay, so I was having to adjust how I played to counter these maxed out Titans and stuff like that. So I mean, I would use whatever cover I could get. Generally, I would fly away from the Titans and just kind of set myself up with a death mark or something like that. Coming out, taking flight with an Al Jun, drop a whole bunch of bombs, come back into, let's say it was jungle map, I would fly right into that little covered area, and then they couldn't hit me. All right, so basically, I would have people with maxed out Titans just dump their Titan just to get back into a regular bot, because there wasn't very much they were going to be able to do as long as I had the significant cover. But as far as your question, how can you compete? Very simple. Focus on your bots. There's one guy that I run into a free for all. He has a full robot hanger. Okay, he has 2 maxed out robots. He has 1 leech and 1 phantom. Okay, and every time that I've gone up against him, he consistently comes in top 3. Okay, so he focused on his weapons and 2 particular bots that he wanted to max out. And then you see the other 2 bots are level 6 and level 8 or whatever that. You can see where he's grinding those ones up slowly. But he started off with one particular bot, whether it was the Phantom or whether it was the Leech. I don't know. I wouldn't know. But he grinded it all the way up to MK212, and I guess he got his modules in there because he does have the modules. Those are 40 million. But remember, you can speed those upgrades with your video ads, so you don't really have to go purchase gold. All you got to do is play the game, grind it out, upgrade your weapons, and you're gonna generate more silver. Okay, and then you can just climb slow as you go. So it is very doable, but you got to put in the game time.
Yep. And I think that's a kind of a key point you were kind of discussing there, is that as a free player, you just have to kind of decide, okay, what my goal is, my upgrade path, what robots and what weapons do I want to work on and have, and then just stay focused on them. I think where a lot of players kind of go wrong is they want to jump around and switch, this robot or switch these weapons out, and then next thing you know, they've got all these, half upgraded robots and weapons, and none of them are very strong. You just need to stay focused on what you want to upgrade. As a free player, focus on your weapons first, and then your robots. Just play them.
Chief, for a very long time there, I would run my free for all with a maxed out Heishi and a maxed out Pursuer, and those were my two robots. Those were the two that I went to. Even though I had other meta bots, I just didn't play anything else. It was just those two particular bots, and I would generate a decent chunk of silver, every time I would go out. So, it's just pick the bots that you're best at, that you're most effective with, and focus on your upgrade and focus on maxing it out. Even if it's an older meta bot, they can still be made viable.
Yep. I think for the most part, free players can do really well in more robots still. Like I said, the only sure loss, no matter how much skill you have as a free player, is against those maxed out Titans. That's
it. They're really tough to deal with. If you're gonna be playing in a squad game, you don't have any chance. You're not, because you're gonna have to deal with not just one Titan, but you're gonna have to deal with up to 5 or 6 of them. In a solo match or free for all, you could stand a lot better chance. You could sit back in the shadows while two Titans beat each other up and come in at the last second just to try and steal the kill. You don't have to go out there and try to trade hands with a Titan that you're going to lose. So you could just sit back in the shadows and let two other people beat each other up, and then you come in at the very last second just to try and take the kill from the other guy. And it just happens on such a regular basis. In free for all, a big part of that game is stealing kills. So you can still be effective. You just got to choose your game mode.
See, Zarathustra had a statement for you, Eddie. He said that I heard if you sell all your Ravanas, you get the Ravana pilot.
Well, somebody told me take all your Ravanas out of your hangar so that the algorithm will not see any, and it'll start giving you pilots, okay? And my friend, of course, Zox had spent some money, a big chunk of money on the game, and he wasn't getting anything. He finally got 3 pilots. And then after he acquired his 3 pilots, because he had 3 Ravanas, he says, I have gotten nothing else out of the boxes now, or the chest, but Ravana pilots. Because I already have 7 of them now. After I got the ones that I needed, it just seems like, okay, I want to give you another one and another one. And I'm kind of the same way with the Nightingale. I have that Nightingale pilot, and I've gotten her over and over and over again. I think I'm up to 13 of that particular pilot. I went and sold a bunch of them. I kept 2 or 3 of them, but I'm going to end up selling them all, except for 1 maybe. But it just seems like once you get it, or you get so many, then they just start giving you that prize over and over again, almost as steady as components.
Yeah, I think I had seen a comment somewhere early on when we first started the podcast. Somebody was talking about the odds on the good stuff with the event this year. It's not very good.
No, it's not.
I mean, I saw a lot of people getting pretty lucky with the Nodens, so I think the odds on getting a Nodens, if you're, you know, it's not guaranteed obviously, but you know, for folks that did drop some money on the tokens that were going after the Nodens, I think most of them got it in a fair number of rolls. But then again, there's no components or anything in the Titan chest. But
thank God.
For the regular chest though, yeah, I haven't seen any videos really of people getting good stuff.
Pilot PKT41 or what is it? Well, I can't remember. I think that's Anthony. Is that your channel? I think that's Anthony's channel, if I'm not mistaken, or somebody's channel, where he scored the module, an Ivory Ravana, and the pilot, all with I guess with about 5,000 coins. So I mean, he hit jackpot. He really did. But that's about the only video where I've seen where, you know, somebody got that amount of good prizes within a short amount of rolls.
I mean, I've
not
seen...
that 5,000 is very little, but you know, it's still. I mean, he did very good.
I've seen a lot of folks getting the Ivory Ravana, which is nice because it's a full robot, and it's a good, it's a strong robot.
You do that extra 10%.
Not getting too many people saying that they picked up the pilot, or many of the people that got the pilot don't even have a Ravana. So I don't know. I guess he is, you know, out there. People are getting it. It's just not real common. I mean, hell, I haven't even got the paint jobs, you know, in my rolls. So I mean, I did get the Ivory Ravana though, so I can't complain too much on that.
That's a plus. Pilot TK421. There you go, Anthony. That's the video.
But yeah, I don't know. In all of my rolls so far with the event, I'd say 90% of them have been power cells, and I'd say 9% of the remaining it has been components, and aside from
gold.
That, I haven't even got gold.
Wow.
I don't think I've got gold once. It's literally been mostly power cells, a couple of components, the one Ivory Ravana, and that's it.
80 Gaming saying he got the Ravana and the Ravana pilot. You're a lucky man, 80. I mean, I'd give anything for this pilot. I need 3 of them. I think I'm just gonna wait till they come to the pilot store. I mean, I'm just gonna have to be patient.
Yeah, that's and that's where I'm at. I'm just like, you know, that's the most important thing in this event for me is that pilot, and he's gonna be in the pilot pool eventually. So if I don't get him, that's fine. I'll just wait until he's in there, and I'll pick him up for 2,500 gold. I mean, I could see if it was like the Blitz pilot where it's a night and day difference, but it's not. I mean, yes, it's a strong pilot on the Ravana, but the Ravana is still really strong without that pilot.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's all about the timing. When the Ravana's going to come out of the timing, either he's going to hit his next ability, but I mean, all you got to do is your 3-second countdown, and in 3 seconds, you know, when you count that 3rd second, he's going to come out of that ability, and you just got to be ready to fire right then and there, and you're going to hit him as soon as he comes out of that cloak. So, you know, you just got to learn your timing on pretty much everything. I mean, how long does an Al June fly for? You know, how long is a Ravana stealth? How long is a last stand? How long is... So, you know, once you know your timing and your seconds, you'll be good to go.
Hey, Kay Rather, thank you for the donation there. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Kay. Boss Lady saying goodbye. She's got to go. All right, Boss Lady, thank you for coming by, girl.
Bradley was saying he's afraid to drop 1,000 tokens and get 100 platinum. Yeah. But, you know, 100 platinum still 100 platinum, you know? I mean, that's the absolute worst possible price you can get in that whole thing. And most of the people I saw dropping, spins on it, they all got pretty good stuff. I mean, there were a few that were getting 100 platinum, but it doesn't seem to be like the most common thing.
Yeah, I dropped. I got the 100 platinum. Then I got the weapon after that, and it was on the third spin that I got the Nodens, and that was it. I mean, that really just made this a whole event for me. Of course, I wanted the Scourge weapons, but I could not be happier with the machine guns. The machine guns are just something else. They're really, really good against any one of the Titans, no matter what you pair it up against. If you go up against an Arthur or Nao Ming, I mean, they're very solid weapons.
Talking about the atomizers?
No, not the atomizers. The machine guns are on the Nodens.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They shred, Chief. They will shred an Arthur shield in no time flat.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of folks with the Nodens initially. They were all wanting the Cyclone, and the Cyclone is great against those energy Yao Mings. I mean, it zaps them right out of the sky, but it doesn't help them so much against an Arthur. I've seen a few folks with Nodens running 2 Cyclones and 2 of the machine guns just to deal with Arthurs.
Help crack that shield.
Yep. Lonnie said he wishes that they would let you choose 2 or 3 prizes to eliminate before spinning, like the old black market.
The Royale.
Yeah.
The old Royale. Yeah, we used to do that in the Royale. You take out the 2 prizes you wanted, that you didn't want the least. Oh yeah, that would be nice. That would definitely be nice. As far as the Titan crate, I mean, there's so few prizes in the Titan crate that I can't see that happening. You did a little sneak peek video on the upcoming operations, didn't you, Chief?
I did.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, showing the paint jobs. Though I think there's going to be more to the operation than what I showed, but that's all I knew about. Was a couple of paint jobs, the new Hades pilot, and the Ardent Gust. But it does seem like they always have at least a robot in the operation, so I'm kind of interested to see what they're going to be doing with that. Are we going to get another robot of some kind, or are they just going to skip over the robot since it's basically part 2 of
I think that they would probably skip over the robot, and they're going to give out the weapons this time. I mean, in all honesty, the biggest value of the way they're doing the operations now is not, the silver, gold, or weapons. It's the amount of platinum that you get for your 15 boats. I mean, you're getting 700 platinum for $50 if you can grind it out, and it's not very hard to grind it out. I mean, just about any player that's not just a casual player can complete the operations now, and to generate 1,400 gold for $30 between the 2 operations versus dropping $100 to try to get 1,400 platinum is, to me, it's a no-brainer.
Right. Well, the thing is, though, like, if they're only going to have the weapons in the second operation, I mean, that doesn't make sense to me because they had weapons in this operation as well. So we did get 2 weapons and the robot,
but they were specialty weapons, were they?
The weapons in this one? What were they?
Yeah,
they were. It was the Sinister Cryos, or Sinister Rhymes. Sorry, the Sinister Rhyme.
Yeah, Sinister Rhymes.
So it was limited edition weapons. So I don't know. I mean, and there's folks wondering too. Maybe are they only going to give us 2 gusts? Because I mean, what good are 2 gusts? And that's a fair point. You know,
I mean, we talked about that earlier. Like I won that Ivory atomizer, and great. I have one Ivory atomizer. Good deal. What the hell am I gonna do with one? You know, I'm not gonna mix it up in there with one. And I did that with my one of my Coronas at one time when I got the special Corona, and I wanted to upgrade them. And I was gonna upgrade all 4 of them, but I just kind of stopped after that first one, you know, because I had a full set of 4. But you know, it just looks so funny when you have 3 of one kind and 1 of another. Just it's black.
Yeah, if you've got OCD, it's not going to work out too well for you.
Well, I just have some OCD because I can just look at my leech with the 4 Coronas and just see that one that was off. It's like, damn, that just looks so damn horrible.
Right. Well, and I did have folks asking me why I only had 2 of those gusts on the Loki in my video, and I was like, well, I don't know if we're gonna get more than just 2. I mean, usually they only give 2 weapons, and I didn't want to put, you know, 3 or 4 of this limited edition item if people can't get that many, you know. So I don't know. I would like to see them start doing, because they did say in a dev stream that they were trying to pair like the weapons with the robot that they're giving away, and like the pilot with the robots and things like that. So I mean, they gave us a Blitz. The Blitz has 4 light weapons. They should give us 4 light weapons, not just 2.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Bradley's saying a lot of YouTubers end up with press accounts, so they don't spend a ton of money. I think once you get 1K or more subs, also called battle rig accounts. No, Bradley, not all the YouTubers get them. The influencers are issued a battle rig account. Just so we can clarify this, it has nothing to do with the amount of subs you have. You get selected by Pixar to be an influencer, and they'll give you an account, but that comes with an extremely strict set of rules on that battle rig account. You know, you cannot have it in a clan. You cannot use it for team squatting. It's an account for promotional stuff like that, to show off some of the new stuff when it comes in. But you cannot be using it for your own personal clan and stuff like that. So it comes with with a strict set of rules. And I mean, you can look at any of my videos, and I know Chief uses it here and there. I use it very seldom, only upon viewers' requests for certain items that I don't have in my own personal account. But other than that, I use my personal account for all of my videos.
Yeah, there's only about a dozen or so YouTubers with those accounts worldwide, so there's not a lot of us out there. I know there's a lot of YouTubers that look like they have battle rec accounts because their stuff's all maxed out, but no, that's not a battle rec. But yeah, YouTubers generally spend a lot of money, even if they have a battle rec account. I know I spend a lot of money just having a YouTube channel, and anything I make on it goes right back into my channel. So it's an expensive thing to run a YouTube channel, but I know there are a lot of folks that do wish they had access to a battle rec account, but like Islander said, there's a lot of rules that come with it.
Yeah, I mean, when I was issued my battle rec account and I was given all the rules, I was like, I'm not going to use this. I mean, yeah, you had access to anything you wanted to get. I was like, well, you know what? I'll use it for certain videos, for subscribers' requests, and then that's it. And that's where I cap it. You know, they will. if you violate any of the rules that they issue you, they will strip you of that account very quickly.
Yeah. Like, well, I do have my Battle.Rec account in a clan, but he's the only one in that clan, and that's and that's just so that I have access to the clan features on the Battle.Rec account in the event I do need to do some kind of a video that includes accessing the clan features on that account.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Adrian? Shout out, brother. Adrian just joined us. Adrian made a statement. I prefer using my own account. At least I get the silver and platinum, etc. Exactly. You know, you're not going to generate anything as far as on your account if you're using the Battle.Rec. That silver and that platinum all goes to a void.
That's honestly why most of the time that I stream, I think maybe 1 out of maybe 20 or 30 streams that I do, I use the Battle.Rec account. It's almost entirely my own account, just because, man, I need to play too. I need to grind and get me some silver, and you don't get to keep that stuff on the Battle.Rec.
Manny has his own. Manny has the same bots in his hanger. Should I start playing? Yeah, like Adrian said, I don't think Manny plays his own account too much. I mean, he does a lot of tutorial videos, and that's what he showcases. Different bots and different setups. For him to try and do all that on his own personal account, he's gonna spend a fortune.
Oh, when I first started making videos, I tried so hard to get every robot in the game and every weapon in the game and try and get it all leveled up to a decent level, and man, it's almost impossible to do that. Hey Morgoth, for becoming a channel member. Much appreciated there, buddy. Adrian loses out on 500 million silver a month because he uses the BR.
Because he uses the Battle.Rec account.
Oh,
yep.
That's a big loss of silver for sure. Well, I think we'll go ahead and open it up. If you guys have any last minute questions or any comments you guys want to drop on the stream, now would be the time to do it.
Those of y'all that played the test server, kind of throw your feedback there in the live chat as well. What you thought about the test server? What do you think about the new disguise modules? The Titans having quantum radar. And keep it classy, guys. Don't come in here saying this sucks, that sucks. We know it sucks, But I mean, just kind of give me your feedback on that. If you have played the Titan server and I mean the Titan server, the test server, oh freaking the Titans, and what you thought about it, and if you were to get them, what would you run them on?
Concord WR says Adrian's better than Manny. Shh, don't tell anybody, but I agree.
Definitely.
I'm joking, but that would be a pretty good battle to see them go 1v1, see what would happen. I'm sure Adrian would kick my butt.
I would love to get 6 of us on at one time and do a free for all, or maybe squad play, but I would like to do a free for all with with you and with Lee and with AD and with Adrian and Manny, and just kind of get everybody together and do just a fun free for all. Maybe even run funny builds or something like that. Just something just for the fun of it.
I think once the servers finish merging, I think we'll be able to do more stuff like that.
Yeah.
Be a lot of fun. Adrian says he thinks the disguise unit being brought to the game to help regular robots against the Titans. You know, I kind of agree with that. I think that might be it, but you know, it'll help them for 5 seconds. Kind of my thought on that. I think we need a little more help against the Titans, but
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
but then there's a counter to that in a quantum radar for the Titans that that one just got me stressing already. my poor pursuer is just not going to stand a chance anymore.
And then he was saying that the quantum sensor he thinks should have done 100 meters per quantum sensor, but you can only have one equipped on a Titan, since you only have one flexible slot on a Titan, or universal slot is what it's called.
On this test server, we had the speed module in one slot, and we had the quantum sensor in the other slot. So we actually gave up, one damage. I mean, one armor and one health. I mean, one damage and one armor.
Oh, I wonder if they're thinking about changing the slots on Titans, because
they might, because I thought there was only going to be one universal. So
right.
Do you want to run a speed? Do you want to run a quantum sensor? Or are you going to want to run whatever future modules come in? You can only run one. But if they're going to be setting it up like that, well, damn.
An iOS play on test server. Yeah, actually, I did get a message. Well, I think the message on iOS was for the new version of the test server for during the week dropping.
And yes, they did put it on one of the assaults and the universal.
Yeah, for the test server, just always check the War Robots test server page. I think it's actually called the official War Robots test server page. Anyway, it's on Facebook. You just search for that on Facebook. It should pop up, and whatever downloads for the current test server should be right there on top. Every once in a while, they do have a Android-only test server, but that's pretty rare.
BBX, he wants to know how I'm going to deal with the new bot. He thinks that the Leech and the Ao Jun are in big trouble. Yeah, they're going to be in their fair share of trouble, no doubt. But it's just like anything else we've had coming to the game, BBX. They're hard to understand. They're hard to deal with at first. But everything is about timing. The same thing we did with the Ravanas. The Ravanas came in and they were just whipping everybody, we're going in and out of their phase shift. But once we learned the timing of the phase shift and when they were exactly when they were going to come out, they were a lot. Now they are a lot easier for me to deal with. It's going to be the same thing with this. It's going to come in. I'm not going to have a clear understanding of how it works and what it does. But once I do, and once I get one, and once people start killing me, then I'll start putting together my little game plans as to how I'll be addressing it or how I'll be dealing with it. And then I'll be more than happy to put it on a video for you, my friend.
Springtrap was asking me if I would rather use a Fenrir or Cerberus in deathmatch. Fenrir all day long. Just personal preference. And one thing, comment you were talking about or answering BBX's question. One thing that I've learned, and it's kind of a tough pill to swallow, at least it has been for me, but something I've learned over the past several months is that usually when we see something like a change come to test server, we don't always understand why they're doing it. And generally speaking, there's development going on in the background that's another month or two out that we are completely unaware of. So sometimes changes that they make on the test server or even bring to the live server that might, kind of piss us off. it's because we don't have all of that big picture information, and unfortunately, they don't really communicate it to anybody. So things like this disguise, or the quantum sensor for the Titans, you know, we're sitting here shaking our heads saying, why are you doing this? This doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't do this. But for all we know, there's something else that they're going to release a month or two down the line that is then going to kind of offset the growing pains that we're going to feel from this.
Adrian says, can you imagine 6 Quail Rhymes teleporting to an Ao Ming with death marks? You're pretty brutal, Adrian. That's pretty wild, man. That would definitely do some damage. But who's going to guard your beacons?
Can you imagine how much damage an Arthur would get if 6 of them teleported to the Arthur and then he did a death fart on all 6 of them?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be a lot. I mean, he would probably still die, but that would be a lot of damage just from one fart.
Yeah. But not as much as he's going to take with 6 death marks. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it will, Adrian. How about incorporating a module that adds 2 drones to fly above you left and right? That's already in another game, isn't it? Where there's like a little drone that flies over the robot, where the mech robots or mech warriors or something like that. Got a little buddy drone or like a little pet that flies with it. I mean, I can't see how it would hurt or you know what I mean? It's just technically it'd be 1 extra gun with you. How about a healing drone that just flies around healing me all day long?
Yeah, but then you would have people complaining about that much more lag that they're experiencing from all these little flying drones.
What's going on, Evil? How you doing, brother?
Why do legendary skins cost the same to sell as the regular skin? That's a good question. For those of you that have sold a Titan, wow. I don't think that's anything we've actually discussed, but yeah, when you sell a Titan, you get like 1 million silver. Like, no joke. It's ridiculously low amount of silver for selling like Titan stuff. Yeah.
Well, the little machine guns go for 4 million or almost 4.5 million.
Right.
So the actual Titan is cheaper than that?
Yeah, it's pretty low. I mean, when you consider how much platinum it costs to actually purchase them, it's it's almost a laughable thing to sell. I mean, anything Titan related. But yeah, paint jobs unfortunately are kind of along the same lines where it's I mean, it's especially with paint jobs, it's actually so difficult to even find a location to sell them that it's not even worth looking to go in and sell it, because you get really next to nothing.
Just trying to read back in the comments, Chief. Trying to read backwards.
Turbine was saying it's like 2.6 or 3.2 million for a Titan. Yeah, it's not. I mean, you do get a little more if you've upgraded it, but I mean, come on. I mean, if you've if you've spent platinum to upgrade a Titan 2, well, it's not even worth selling. Later, BBX.
They should really give you the ability to transfer normal pilot skills to a legendary pilot. You lose all that gold. Yeah, I mean the pilot skills are something that I completely disagree with as far as the amount of gold it costs to change a pilot skill. I mean, it should be a very low amount. I mean, it's constantly changing one pilot to another, then having to redo all the skills all over again. And of course, you're going to roll. Nobody's going to spend all that gold. You know, just selecting one per one. It costs you 1,000 gold. You know, and then so you're doing the 50 rolls, trying to get the skills you want. I'm in complete agreement. I mean, there's no way it should be that amount of gold to transfer a pilot skill.
You know, that's something that and we haven't really talked about for a long time, but is pilots and the cost of them. I mean, typically I would recommend to people just to roll the 50, and usually you'll get the skill you're looking for less than the 1,000 gold it takes for you to it would be to just pick it. But I'll tell you what, was it yesterday or the night before, I leveled up my new Blitz pilot, and I was looking for the ability that gives or is it Death Survivor? I think the ability to use your ability once you hit 50% health, and doing the same thing. I just hit the 50, and I literally spent 3,500 gold just to get Death Survivor. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
I was just kept telling myself, man, there's no way it's gonna cost, you know. And then by the time I had spent over 1,000, I'm like, I was dedicated. I was like, I'm gonna get it through a random roll. It literally cost me 3,500 gold to get that one ability. It was crazy. I've never had that happen.
I figure it could cost you 50 gold for swapping ability. You know, I mean, if you went through a whole setup with robots, that would be like what, 300 or 400 gold.
Right.
You know, it should not be 6,000 gold or 7,000 gold or whatever it's going to be. That's just ridiculous.
Well, I think in most circumstances, people, you know, generally, you know, you just roll for whatever, and as long as it's something that you know you're eventually going to want, you know, you can just leave it and then just go on to the next one. But you know, in my case, I wanted only this ability. You know, this had to be the next ability that I got, just because it's so powerful, especially on the new Blitz. Yeah, it's a unique circumstance for sure, but still, I don't think pilots should cost that much to re-roll. Gold isn't
5 gold something. I mean, but
yeah, gold isn't the
significant amount of gold to max it out, and then you constantly got to retrain the skills if you're going to switch that pilot to another robot or a different set of weapons. It's not right.
You know what I would even be okay with? You know, because we do have legendary pilots and regular pilots, right? The biggest benefit to a regular pilot is you can put it on any robot, whereas the legendary pilots are really only useful on their, you know, respective robot. So what if the legendary pilots were actually cheaper to level up and to re-roll abilities on, compared to a regular pilot? I mean, the regular pilot should also be much cheaper than it is now, but I could see having a regular pilot cost just a little bit more than the legendary pilot, just because, one, it's harder to get the legendary pilots, they cost more up front, and, you know, they're locked onto a specific robot, whereas a regular pilot you can, you know, be more flexible with. You can move them around robots if you want. I don't know, it just popped in my head. Maybe I'm off on that one, but
I just say that once you purchase a pilot for 2,500 gold, and by the time you max it out, you spent over another, what, 10,000 gold or somewhere like that, if not more. I mean, you shouldn't have to be retraining your skills at a high cost.
right.
That's all I'm saying on that. I mean, it's a pile of BS when it comes down to having to retrain your pilots over and over again for 1,000 gold, or spending 50 gold per spin, and it costs you 3,500 gold. I mean, damn. That's just it baffles me.
Yeah, well, I'm stubborn too. I couldn't let it beat me. All right. Well, I think that is pretty much going to wrap it up.
All right.
I do appreciate everybody hanging out with us on the podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It's definitely a brighter part of my week, doing this with you guys. And I kind of like these more relaxed open forum podcasts where it's kind of, you know, sky's the limit on whatever it is that we talk about. Kind of enjoy them. But yeah, I think that is going to wrap this one up. Eddie, thank you very much for another good podcast. And
I appreciate it. I really do. And guys, we appreciate you coming by every single Sunday. I mean, y'all take the time out of your day to come and hang out with us. It's not about me. It's not about Chief. It's about you guys. And it's about all of us. It's about the community getting together and discussing a game that we love to play, whether we're happy with it or unhappy with it, or if we agree or disagree. It's always fun to get together and discuss.
And another shout out there for Adrian, 80 Gaming in Lee Fighter. I'll stop by and the chat with us. Thanks to Zara for the donation there, much appreciated. And to the rest of you, I hope you guys do stay safe and healthy. I know kind of opened up with it, but I know a lot of, at least here in the U.S., for those of you that are joining us from the U.S., I know a lot of different parts are starting to open up, but I do hope that you guys do, you know, use a little bit of common sense, keep yourself healthy and prepared for whatever might happen when we do open up, and just, you know, be cautious and keep yourself safe, because you're the only one that can. But yeah, that is going to wrap it up. So once again, thank you all. Don't forget to drop a like if you guys have not stopped by, and subscribe to Islander or Adrian or AD or Lee Fighter. Make sure you guys drop by and check out all of those channels as well. And until the next one, that's going to do it for me. Chief out.